Just a reminder before today's programme that if you haven't seen the previous instalment of the Hits series, you can check it out. It's Snap It Up, Monster Hits 2, alternatively known as Hits 12. And now, here on AMTV, after long last, time for another instalment of the Hits Review, and this time we'll be looking at the spiritual Hits 13. Hi there guys, it's Martyn here, and welcome after long last to another episode of the Hits Review. Yes, it's finally time. Where we last left off, we looked at Snap It Up, Monster Hits 2, or Hits 12 if you like, and I remember saying that the next installment, which is this one, the Hit Pack, didn't have a vinyl release, but so many of you guys requested that I pick it up on either cassette or CD, so I did on CD for about £2. Haven't found a vinyl version of it yet, but today we will be reviewing the Hit Pack, or as I like to call it, Hits 13. So this came out in 1990, and where was Hits at? Well, I think they'd gone way past their peak. Now that's what I call music, was becoming the dominant compilation franchise, and whilst back in the mid to late 80s Hits offered some stellar competition, there were a few things that led them awry. First of all, the naming. So for those who haven't seen the Hits Review, I highly recommend you watch it, but for those less familiar, you had Hits 1 to 8 all numbered. Hits 9 was just called the Hits album, which was a silly mistake. They went back to the numbers for Hits 10, and then for Hits 11 they changed it up, called it Monster Hits, and then Snap It Up Monster Hits 2. For this one, they've gone back to, well, with the word hit, of course, the Hit Pack, and this rather odd artwork. This was 1990, this feels very 1990. So 74 minutes of chart music. Interesting they choose not to broadcast how many tracks are on there like they usually do, more about how long it is, which is interesting. So you've got featuring the Charlatans, Paul Simon, Bobby Vinton, the Proclaimers, Snap, Maria McKee, Berlin, Deacon Blue, Julie Cruz, New Kids on the Block, Prince, and Black Box. Okay, so a very interesting selection there. Let's flip it on over, and I will zoom in, and we will look at the track list here today. So we're kicking off with Groove Is in the Heart, the Peanut Butter mix by D-Light. Now that was a massive hit in 1990. I'm not sure if I've heard that mix before. You've got Fantasy by Black Box, Mary Had a Little Boy by Snap, Living in the Light by Karen Wheeler, Crazy by Seal, Then by the Charlatans, Cubic by 808 State, Good Morning Britain by Aztec Camera and Mick Jones, The Obvious Child, a single mix by Paul Simon, Fog on the Tyne, revisited by Gaza and Lindisfarne, Are You Dreaming, the radio edit by 24/7 and Captain Hollywood. Okay, that's that. And then for the second half, Thieves in the Temple, the album version by Prince, Spit in the Rain by Delamitri, King of the Road by the Proclaimers, Show Me Heaven by Maria McKee, brilliant song, Take My Breath Away by Berlin, I'll Never Fall in Love Again by Deacon Blue, Blue Velvet by Bobby Vinton, Crying in the Rain LP version by Aha, Fallin' by Julie Cruz, and Tonight by New Kids on the Block. So definitely not as huge a selection. All the Hits albums prior were double albums. They were either double vinyl, double cassette, double CD. This was the first in the series to go single CD release, and I think, as far as I know, on the cassette, the track list is the same, or maybe there's a few more songs on it, but I think there's only about 21 songs on here, so definite downgrade. There's the spine, just says Hit Pack various artists. Now, the barcode on here is Comp CD 1, which is interesting because this is from the same people who made all the Hits albums, so this is technically Hits 13. If the camera decides to go in focus, copyright 1990. There are some positives. Now at this point still wasn't getting artists like Prince. Prince is on here. Oh, there's my reflection. You got two big movie songs. Maria McKee with Show Me Heaven from Days of Thunder, and Take My Breath Away was from Top Gun. I wonder why this is on here, because Take My Breath Away came out in 1986, so maybe it was used in an advert or something, so it got popular again. Who knows, really? But of course we have to crack this open. So look, isn't that the most 90s disc? I love discs were like that, back in the day. They'd sort of etch their designs onto them. I just thought that was always really cool. And you've got all the artists there. If I spin it around, there you go. You got all the artists and that artwork, man, just dead strange. Copyright 1990. There's also this artwork on the back. The 90s were weird, man, especially at the start. So what does this booklet contain? Now look at that, you see. So, it's just a track list here. See, that's disappointing, because again, the Hits album up to this point, like the Nows, would always include information about their artists and also like, you know, where they charted, what album they came from. This is, well, done on the cheap, quite frankly. This is literally just the track list, which you can read on the back. Is that any different? No, I believe that's just the same with like production notes and stuff. So that's a very lackluster booklet, I have to say, which is rather unfortunate. Again, another reason why Hits was succumbing to Now's popularity. Now always maintain the quality of like the releases in terms of the booklets and whatnot. So, I mean, what more is there to say about the Hit Pack? I mean, 1990 was an odd year in music. You had the last remnants of the 80s and, I mean, the beginning of what we most identify as 90s music coming in. So, I mean, if you're into that sort of crossover period where music was just getting a bit odd, like, but in a good way, there was lots of like niche dancey things and whatnot. So I'd say if you're into that sort of stuff, the Hit Pack is worth checking out. Is it better than some of the previous Hits albums? Not really. As I say, I think Hits really peaked when it was a full double album. That's when it felt like a real contender for the Now series. I mean, going down to a single disc CD just doesn't quite do it for me. I mean, yes, there's 74 minutes of music. That's a long time, but I mean, for the sake of not having another disc, I just think it falls a bit flat. So I'd say only pick up the Hit Pack if you're like me and you're going to collect these things. I am annoyed I can't find a vinyl release, although I do remember reading on Wikipedia about this. Supposedly there was an LP release, or it seems to say there is, although I looked on Discogs, which is a great website to find versions of things, and on Discogs there is only listed a CD version and a cassette version. So is there a vinyl version? Who knows? I mean, let me know in the comments if you own the vinyl version, because I've just not been looking hard enough, clearly. But I've searched many times for a vinyl version of this album and have found nothing. But from here, you'd think it's Hits 14. Well, they actually go back to calling it the Hits album. And funnily enough, the catalogue number on that, I think, is Hits 15, even though it's the 14th release. That does have a vinyl version for definite, so maybe one day I'll grab that and we will cover that. But I know a lot of you guys were asking for this review. You wanted me to cover the Hit Pack, and, well, sadly, it's a bit of a disappointment for the Hit series, really. Will it bounce back with the next one? We'll have to wait and see. But that's all for this installment of the Hits review. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like on the video, leave your comments down below. Do you own the Hit Pack on CD or cassette? Do you own the vinyl version, if it exists at all? Let me know in the comments. And also, please subscribe to the channel. I'm recording this quite a way in advance, so hopefully we've hit 9K. If we haven't, don't worry, we can do it by the end of May. We've still got time. And until the next one, I will see you guys next time. Well, that does bring us to a close this evening on AMTV. We do hope you enjoyed the programme, and please do keep your eyes open for brand new content that will be coming to you soon. Until then, have a very good week, and we hope that you join us again soon. Good night.